All right. Travel checklist. Now, this would particularly be useful for master students. So if you're coming for your master's program and you're probably coming with family, even if you're coming alone, if you're not going to be staying on student accommodation, you could come with your master's, your driver's license, and this would be helpful so that you can move around. Your international driver's license will be valid for 1 year. So you could have that handy. I didn't have such information, so I'm sharing this with you. You could actually have that handy and it would help you a lot in terms of mobility and all that. And then local food, we advise that if you can bring in your local food as well, you could do that because things will be quite expensive in whatever location you are going to. Some people even go as far as bringing cooked food, which I did. So you could actually come in with cooked food if you can. And that could sustain you for a period of time. But you could also get contacts. I'll be sharing something towards the end of these slides on how to source your local food. So you could also contact me. For those coming to a particular area, precisely, sorry, anyway, we could give you more information on that. Medical history. So if you have any history medically, and you have any documentation for that, please hold that with you. And I speak particularly with, I'm referring to people coming with children. So if you're coming with children and you have things like their immunization cards and all that, bring them along with you because you will need to sync that information with the hospitals in whatever destination you're going to. And they will need all of this history. So you need to come with them. Okay, so if you have immunization cards or whatever, and if you have your own personal history of your medical situation, you could bring it as well. And for medications, we advise as well that if you're coming in, you could come in with, your anti-malaria and probably antibiotics. And we say this because we had a case sometime in 2013, way back. There was a student who was supposed to come for her program. I think she developed symptoms of malaria before she came to the UK. And on getting here, she just felt it was something else. She went to the hospital and they couldn't diagnose anything. So she was like, it was now there was panic with her family members and all that in Nigeria. And somebody just advised that, why don't you give her anti-malaria? And then they had to send anti-malaria all the way from Nigeria to meet her in the UK. Of course, they don't treat malaria here. It's not anything. They don't treat malaria here. So they couldn't understand what was wrong with her. And so they had to send this all the way from Nigeria to her. And it was when she took it that she got better. So we always advise that you come in with things like that, particularly if you're coming with kids, and have that for at least, you store that for like 6 months and a year. And after that, you can dispose of it if you want to. And antibiotics as well, they are not over-the-counter drugs. So if you're on any kind of antibiotics, it won't be given to you except you have the doctor recommends that you take it, so you can't buy it. You can't enter a shop and just get it. So you could come along with that as well. Now, this part is the COVID-19 part is quite lengthy and I cannot touch everything. There's a one pager we've also created that will be sent out probably next week for as many as needed. So before traveling, of course, you must have a proof of COVID-19 negative result. And it must be done 3 days or 72 hours before departure. You must have that. That is supposed to be one of your documents that you hold with you. You also have to complete the passenger locator form. The link is on that document I'll be sending to you. You have to click on the link and fill that form. I think it's an online form. There is also something called the traffic light system that operates here in the UK. So if you are coming into the UK and you're coming from certain countries, so if you're coming from a country like Nigeria or Greece, if you're coming from Nigeria or Greece, you guys, Nigeria and Greece are on the amber list. So they are, okay, let me explain that better. So we have people on the red list. There are some countries on the red list. And for them, for the UK, they feel that people coming from those countries, they're probably severely hit with the COVID pandemic and they don't want them to come to the UK, without being vaccinated or going through quarantine. So there are people on the red list, there are people on the amber list, and there are people on the green list. So the majority of the countries are on the amber list. And this, of course, they change quite often, but right now, Nigeria and Greece, because I know some people on this call are from Greece, are on the amber list. So if you're coming from Nigeria, you definitely need to quarantine for 10 days in a hotel or in your accommodation. Now, after doing that, you would also need to book and pay for a travel test package. And that travel test package includes that you would have a test done on or before day 2 and on or before day 8, before your 10 days expires. So all the information is on one page that I said I have created, and I'll be sending that to you immediately on Monday or next week if you need that, okay? Now, maximizing your studentship. For students coming in, so I tell people that you're coming in, and once you have an ID card, your ID card is more like a, what's it called? A passport to many things. So there are certain shops you can go to, and then you can actually enjoy some benefits, you know. A lot of students come in and they're probably not even aware, and I wasn't aware as well. I got aware later on. So there are shops here in the UK that, you know, shops like Robert Dyson, if you want to get your electronics, you can get some discount, or probably a 10% discount and all, or 15% discount. From Boots as well, you want to get your cosmetics. From Superdrugs, there's some shops like that. Sometimes you might need to even ask. And how would you ask? You just show them your ID card and say, oh, I'm a student and all that. Do you have any discounts? And then you can actually enjoy some of that and save some money. For travel as well, there are some buses that also have discounts like that. And I remember one of them I went on to, and I said, oh, student, do you offer the student discount and all that? And I said, student discount. The guy was like, student? Like, he didn't get it. He said, what? And I said, student single or something. And then he says, oh, you mean student? So I said, oh, you didn't get it. So anyway, he was trying to correct me, but, you know, that's something that I enjoyed, where you just pay probably £1 for a very long distance to, and, you know, not to, and for a single discount, single journey, and then coming back, you know, you just pay £1, which is quite something you can enjoy and something you can save money on. Of course, council tax bills, there are certain bills that students are not meant to pay for, but you need to find out as well, because you can get more information. And it's not just for the UK. I'm sure there are other countries as well, the US and Canada, where there are certain bills you're not meant to pay for. So you have to find out what it is you should pay for. But I know that there are lots of support for students. Now, of course, there are university opportunities as well. And some people have asked me how it works for students who want to work. So if you want to work in for the US, what I know right now is that if you're working in the US, I might be wrong, but I think that was the last thing I heard. If you want to work, you can only work within term time, and you cannot work more than a particular number of hours, probably 20 hours, and it has to be on campus. But if you're working, but in the UK, you can work on or off campus. During term time is limited to 20 hours. And during holiday, you can work as far as 40 hours. So there are work opportunities that I think students can enjoy. There are other internships and work placements as well that students can enjoy. And I think it's something that, you know, people should look out for. There are departments. I enjoyed a couple of benefits. So when I came in, I actually blogged for a certain department. I was just blogging, and it was no stress at all, because I'm just in front of my computer and I'm blogging. And I was getting paid for it. I was blogging for them. I was checking their emails, and I was getting paid for it right in the comfort of my room. So you need to find out what opportunities are there. There are also some things like starting up a business, and they pay you for founding your business. So it's called founderships. Not all university does it, but I know my university did it, and I earned some money from that as well. And something as high as £3,000, pounds. So it's something that you could look at or look out for. I'm done. Now we offer something like soft landing and relocation package, where, if for a lot of people coming in with families, and you know that you're going to be coming here to quarantine for 10 days, if you need help with things like searching for a house, and where we would actually dedicate a full day to view the house for you and, check all the specifications you want a 2-bedroom house or flat or apartment, whatever it is you want a garden, parking space, whatever requirements you want, you let us know, and then we can help with that. Now, this is not a free service, so if you want more information, you can talk to me about it. We would also arrange pickup services from the airport with the key to your house. So you just go straight to your house and quarantine there for 10 days, and then you are good. If you need advice for kids, school as well, you can talk to us. advice on setting up your telephone or broadband services, you can also talk to us. And of course, getting your Nigerian food delivered to your doorstep, you could talk to us as well. So if you're not bringing from Nigeria, or you even have, and of course you would run out of them, you can also contact us for that. And then we have this company that does that, which I would link up for those who need it. This service is particularly for those coming to Surrey. So I think I'm quite biased because this is where I stay. So if you're coming to this area, there is this provision where you can actually get booked for this kind of service and to be delivered. So things like meat pie, puff puff, chin chin, that's for snacks, and meals, cooked meals, or just grocery box, things like plantain, yam, and all of that you might need. All right, so our September and January applications are still on. If you need more information on school applications, or you need someone, someone who is interested, you can still send them to us. We could also help with financial planning tips. Now, we also have someone who volunteered yesterday. I'm going to be sharing that with as many as are interested. So you need support with your finances and all of that. I think there are some people that could help with that. Like I mentioned, if you need mock interviews, we could run through that session with you for those who have come through our service. And if you want to do that, we can also do that for you, and other related services that we do. Thank you so much. These are our contact details. You could reach out to me via email, or you could send me a WhatsApp message, or you could call me or just send me a text. And then please reach out to us through our social media, our Instagram handle. The last time I think we put IXL-NG, but it's IXLNG, simply IXLNG. So you could reach out to us on that. Thank you so much for your time and for listening.